Let's count down my favorite Christmas movies. It's geeking time. Welcome back and a happy holiday season to all of you out there. Just like with the Halloween season, I took a look at some of my favorite Halloween movies. Well, I figured for the holiday season, let's do exactly that same thing. Watching Christmas movies, especially Christmas specials, are a staple for me in my household every single Christmas season. And I always have a select few Christmas movies that I absolutely love watching, whether it's by myself or with my wife. So, today, as I mentioned, I'm going to be counting down for you my absolute favorite Christmas movies of all time. Now, these are not exactly what I'm saying are the best Christmas movies ever made. However, these are my favorite movies, whether it's movies that I grew up watching, or movies that I saw recently and they really stuck a chord with me. These are really just my own personal favorite Christmas movies. Like I do with all these lists, before I get into my actual countdown, I want to go over a few honorable mentions. The first being The Nutcracker Prince, which is an animated film from, I believe it's the early 1990s, starring Kiefer Sutherland voicing the Nutcracker Prince. This is basically just a cartoon that is kind of like a Disney movie and tells the tale of a nutcracker. Really good, underrated Canadian cartoon. If you have the time, go check it out. Spirited, starring Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell. This just came out last year, and my wife and I watched it together, and we had a blast. We just laughed the whole way through. I think that movie has the ability to become a Christmas classic and a Christmas must-watch every year. Plus, the chemistry between Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell is pretty good in that movie. Silent Night, Deadly Night. I mean, because who doesn't want to see a Christmas movie that is actually a slasher movie? Yeah, I know Black Christmas did that also, but Silent Night, Deadly Night, yeah, it's awesome. I feel like some people might get upset with this one because it's not on the main list, but Elf, starring Will Ferrell. It's a goofy, silly movie. I know a lot of people love it. A lot of people make it their staple. A lot of people in my family consider it one of the absolute best Christmas movies ever made. For me, it's not something that I watch every year. I like Will Ferrell, but I don't know. I can't watch that movie every year, so it's just an honorable mention for me. Okay, so with the honorable mentions out of the way, let's get straight to my countdown. Violent Night. A dysfunctional, wealthy family become the targets of a home invasion, and as Santa Claus, yes, the Santa Claus, delivers presents to the house, he unwillingly steps in to save the day in a brutal and violent fashion. This is basically Die Hard, but with Santa Claus as John McClane. This was only released last year, and I wasn't expecting much when I put it on. However, I loved it so much, I even included it in my favorite films of 2022 list. This really isn't an idea that should make any kind of sense, let alone work, yet it does. Bonus points to David Harbour, whom took this role and made it amazing. The Beauty and the Beast, The Enchanted Christmas. The events of the film take place during the original Beauty and the Beast film, where Christmas is not celebrated, as this was the day that caused the entire castle to transform into what they are. However, Belle wants to bring Christmas to the castle and show the meaning behind the holiday. On the other hand, we have an evil organ, voiced by the iconic Tim Curry, who will stop at nothing to stop Belle from bringing Christmas and keep Beast tormented. Honestly, it isn't the best movie, but for some reason, I always steer towards watching this one, especially since Beauty and the Beast was my mom's favorite Disney film. It's cute, it's fun, and the kids will enjoy it. Plus, Beauty and the Beast are iconic. Krampus. Here we are with another dysfunctional family. Young Max is a true believer in Santa Claus and the holiday spirit and writes a letter to Santa. When his letter is discovered, he is humiliated, causing the dysfunction to rise, angering Max, whom rips up his letter, thus summoning Krampus and all of its evil holiday demonic minions, as Max fights to save himself and his family. I love horror films, so I had to have one on here. The film was done by the creator of Trick or Treat, so I think he gets the holidays. It's one of those films where the set and character designs are fantastic. If you love Christmas and you are a massive horror fan like I am, please go check this one out. The Santa Claus. On Christmas Eve, emotionally detached divorcee Scott Calvin has his son for the night. Uncertain how to bond, the night is bland until his son hears noise on the roof, where they go to investigate and discover Santa Claus, whom falls off the roof, dying and leaving the suit behind. Scott puts on the suit and starts delivering the toys. Upon heading to the North Pole, he's advised by elves that he is now Santa as he put the suit on, which Scott refuses to believe until significant changes happen to him. As everyone around him starts to refuse the fact that he is Santa Claus, Scott must prove that he in fact is and remind the world of the holiday spirit. It's a great film, and Tim Allen is great in the role of Santa Claus. This is a must-watch every season. I just wish Disney wouldn't have milked it with unnecessary sequels and that unnecessary TV series. Gremlins, the first of two alternative Christmas movies on my list. Banker Billy receives an odd pet for Christmas from his father, a mogwai his father named Gizmo, with 3 important rules. Say it with me now. Don't expose it to light, don't get it wet, and most important, don't feed it after midnight. Well, suffice it to say, after accidentally getting Gizmo wet, he spawns further mogwai, whom in turn trick Billy into feeding them after midnight, causing the mogwai to change into mischievous gremlins, wreaking havoc on the city on Christmas Eve, where it is up to Billy and Gizmo to stop the gremlins. Like many others, I love this film. I playfully argue every year with my wife that this is indeed a Christmas movie, where she disagrees. It's a fun monster movie, which in turn spawned some really bad knockoffs. And if you've never seen this and are open-minded to films, I promise you will love this one. It's a Wonderful Life. The Christmas classic. George Bailey is depressed due to giving up on his dreams, and on Christmas Eve contemplates suicide. With this, George's guardian angel, Clarence, whom has yet to receive his wings, is shown George's life and all the good George has done, and so Clarence is tasked with saving George, where he intervenes and shows George what life would be like without him. The film culminates in a heartwarming and uplifting finale. 78 years old this film is, and 78 years later, it is still a Christmas staple. I think that shows how powerful the message of this film is. This movie was nominated for 5 Academy Awards upon its release, and has multiple entries on the AFI lists. I shared this with my wife for the first time last year, and she absolutely loved it. And after 78 years, this film still holds up. The Nightmare Before Christmas. Bored with the yearly routine, Jack Skellington, the Pumpkin King and King of Halloween Town, stumbles upon Christmas Town, which reignites his passion for the holiday and becomes inspired to steal Christmas and do it himself, roping in all the monsters from Halloween Town to aid in his quest. Meanwhile, Santa is kidnapped and sent to the evil Oogie Boogie. When Christmas goes awry, Jack must return to save Santa and make the holidays right. I think this has been a film that I've loved for as long as I can remember. I watched it so much on VHS that I broke it, prompting my mom to get it for me on DVD one Christmas. And eventually, I upgraded to Blu-ray. Some debate, is this a Halloween flick or is it a Christmas flick? I think it's both, but I prefer watching it at Christmas. Plus, Tim Burton did state that this was made out of his love for the Rankin and Bass Christmas specials. I must pop this one in every year and sing along as I never tire of this classic. Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. All the Who's in Whoville love Christmas. However, the mean old Grinch whom lives on Mount Crumpet does not. The film mainly follows the book, yet adding more prominence to Cindy Lou Who, whom tries to see the good in the Grinch. Well, he's still the Grinch, and plots and nearly succeeds in stealing Christmas, yet is overcome by happiness. Okay, I love this movie. I watch it every year, and Jim Carrey is just great as the mean one, and Ron Howard did a fantastic job directing it. So I don't understand where a lot of the hate for this movie comes from. Maybe I'm biased as I am a lifelong Dr. Seuss fan, and okay, it isn't as great as the animated special, yet it's still a Christmas classic. Plus, I have fond memories of seeing this when I was young in theaters with my mom. Put this one on, trust me, it is a great Christmas film. Love Actually. This entry is from my mom. The film follows several people leading up to Christmas and their stories of love, heartache, and happiness. That pretty much sums it up. My mom loved this movie, as every year she watched it without fail. I remember seeing it in theaters with my mom and my family, which was a lot of fun. There's a specific scene with the incredible Emma Thompson that always made my mom cry, and now the same effect is on my wife. This is an ensemble cast. Like, seriously, Google this film. So many great actors that were already established, as well as starting off, who are well known today. Every year to kick off the season whilst decorating, my wife and I put this one on. What was once one of my mom's all-time favorites is now a yearly tradition in my home, as it is truly a wonderful film, leaving you happy and full of love, as well as in honor of my mom. After seeing this,
I've got a sneaky feeling you'll find that love actually is all around.
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Clark Griswold wants to have a memorable Christmas with his family, and when the extended family comes around, mayhem ensues. First, I don't like Chevy Chase, yet this is a Christmas classic. Seeing Clark try to make the perfect Christmas with a lot of mishaps, as well as his struggles with work, is very relatable, however, blown out of proportion. I used to find it funny when my mom watched it on TV, as there is a scene in the movie that always made her call her siblings and laugh at it. The other thing, whenever I see unnecessarily over-decorated homes with Christmas lights on them, I call it a Griswold. Look, this is as much as a Christmas classic as the other films, and this will have you laughing all the way through. Batman Returns. You have Die Hard? I have Batman Returns. The second and last alternative Christmas movie on my list, Oswald Cobblepot schemes to take Gotham City with his orphan story, leading him to become mayor. Through all this, Selina Kyle is killed by her boss, where she returns as the Catwoman. And of course, Batman is still trying to protect Gotham City. Cobblepot, aka the Penguin, teams up with Catwoman to take over Gotham City and rid the city of Batman. However, the Dark Knight will always protect his city. Wait, I said this is a Christmas movie, right? Oh yeah, the movie takes place during Christmas, with references throughout. Guys, it's Batman. My favorite Batman era. Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman, Danny DeVito as the Penguin, and in my opinion, the best Batman of all time, Michael Keaton. Trust me on this one. Us nerds need Christmas movies too. Just remember,
mistletoe can be deadly if you eat it.
But a kiss can be even deadlier if you mean it.
Scrooged. Bill Murray plays Frank Cross, a greedy, shady television network executive, in this modernized comedic retelling of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. I've always been a fan of Bill Murray due to Ghostbusters, and so I wanted to see this when I was old enough to. Gosh dang it, I love Scrooged. Bill Murray brings his A-game here. The three ghosts are also cleverly done that they keep you entertained, specifically the Ghost of Christmas Present. Not my favorite Christmas Carol adaptation. We'll get to that one later. Yet this is, in my opinion, the best adult-themed Christmas comedy ever made. Home Alone and Home Alone 2 Lost in New York. Okay, I legitimately couldn't decide, so both. Same story, two different films. In the first film, Kevin McAllister is left at home by mistake when his family rush out to make their flight due to an overnight power outage. In the second film, the family don't forget Kevin for their flight. Rather, Kevin boards the wrong plane going to New York City and is alone in the Big Apple. In both films, there's a character whom terrifies him only to realize how kind they are, and in both films, he must fend off bandits Harry and Marv. I don't care. I've loved these movies since I was a kid, even being a big Macaulay Culkin fan, and spoiler, that hasn't changed now in my 30s. There were many sequels after Macaulay Culkin left, but the less said about those, the better. A bit unrealistic with the traps, but Kevin was always the coolest kid around. I'll never tire of this one either. Jingle All the Way. Howard is a workaholic whom barely makes time for his family and always breaks his promises. After a night of bonding with his son over the superhero Turbo Man, which is Christmas's hottest toy, his son advises him that he wants this toy. So Howard's wife advises that it would be nearly impossible now to find. Assuming Howard bought the toy, which he didn't, Howard sets off on an impossible mission on Christmas Eve to find the toy. What ensues is hilarious hijinks, mishaps, and the importance overall of family. Arnold Schwarzenegger is my all-time favorite action star, and so it's great seeing him in this family comedic role. We also have the late, great Phil Hartman as the scummy neighbor Ted. I actually had my own Jingle All the Way moment when the Turbo Man reissue came out. Yet, my wife for the win on that one. Hate it, love it. This is my favorite Christmas comedy of all time, and I don't care. This is one of Arnold Schwarzenegger's best role. Just don't be stealing those freshly baked cookies.
Oh, these cookies! I gotta get the recipe from Les. Put that cookie down now!
The Muppets Christmas Carol. Hands down, the best, in my opinion, Christmas Carol adaptation. Hands down, the best, in my opinion, Christmas movie ever made. I don't know what it is. I just love this movie with a passion. I mean, I'm also a huge Muppets fan. The moment my parents got this for us as kids, I knew this was it for me. Michael Caine, to me, will always be Scrooge. Even with his other roles, I just think Scrooge. And he delivers a wonderful performance here. The Muppets have no right to make an adaptation this amazing, yet they did. The songs also are very catchy that you'll be singing along. Another film that I cannot skip watching every Christmas. I can't wait to have kids of my own and watch this with them. After this video is done, I'm definitely going to put this one on and relax and sing along. Guys, this is my absolute favorite Christmas movie, hands down, of all time. Do yourselves a favor, watch it this year. There you have it. That is my list. Those are my personal favorite Christmas movies to watch every single year during the holiday season. Now, with that being said, did I miss any? What are some of the Christmas movies that you guys love to watch? If there's anything that you guys love to watch, let me know down in the comments below. So I do have a list also that I'm going to be bringing up to you guys. This is going to be my list of my favorite Christmas specials. For Halloween, I did my my Halloween specials first, and then I did my Halloween movies. However, this time around I decided to flip it around, the Christmas movies first and the Christmas specials. So stick around because in a couple of weeks I'll have my favorite Christmas specials up and ready to go, and you guys will be able to, you know, bask in the fun and nostalgia and retroness of all those Christmas specials. Now, I do want to say thank you so much for supporting my channel, for being a friend of my channel. We're already in December. It's the end of the year, guys. We're going to be going into a brand new year in just a few weeks. So thank you so much to all of you guys who have been with me along the way from the beginning this year, just joining me now on my channel. Thank you so much to all of you guys who support my channel, support my all the content that I put out. You know, I couldn't do it without you guys. That being said, if you're new to the channel, please and thank you, go ahead and subscribe. Click that bell to be notified whenever I got some brand new content out. Got a couple of more holiday themed videos coming up your way this month, guys, so stick around for all that good stuff. Be kind to each other, be merry, have fun, be safe this holiday season. But as always, it's cool if it's nerd cool. Laters!